Hello and welcome to Vassar Campfire Stories, a podcast where we listen to students talk about their spooky experiences on Vassar College's campus and how that experience changes the land of the living. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode of Vassar Campfire Stories. I'm your host, Haley Bax, and I am so excited to be sitting here today with Grace. Grace, do you want to introduce your lovely self?
Hi, I'm Grace, she, her, hers. I'm a senior at Vassar, biochemistry major.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate it. And I'm very excited because your story, without spoiling too much, happens in Maine, which most kids on campus know. If any building is haunted, it's likely to be Maine. So if you'd like to tell us your own experience with a Maine ghost, I invite you to go ahead and start.
Well, I lived in Maine my first 2 years. And sophomore year, I had a single, and it was spring sophomore year. And I was asleep in my room, and I had a lamp plugged into an outlet that kind of faced toward my bed. And in the middle of the night, one night, that lamp turned on directly into my eyes. Which obviously scared me quite a bit. I spent the rest of the night just kind of lying in bed, very panicked, very frozen. Obviously something turned my lamp on. And, people can always say it's a weird electrical thing, but I had that lamp plugged into a different outlet. Nothing ever happened there. Nothing ever happened in that outlet before. So probably a ghost. So after that first night, the lamp turned on pretty frequently. And the first time it was very startling, very surprising, but it didn't feel bad. Like, I've been around ghosts before. My house at home is very haunted, and some ghosts feel bad and some ghosts are just there. And the ghost in my room, she was pretty chill. I named her Millie. I think she was probably like one of the early Vassar girls and was just there hanging out in my room. And I'd come into my room some days and the lamp would be on. I'd be like, "Hi, Millie," and it was really nice, little roommate. But then one night, I was studying for my orgo final, and I was really stressed. And I was going to bed. I was going to get like 3 hours of sleep, and then I was going to wake up early and keep studying. So I was like, I gotta get to sleep. And right as I was about to fall asleep, Millie turns the lamp on, and I'm so stressed. I'm so angry. I'm so frustrated. I yell, "Millie, stop turning on the freaking light!" And so I get out of bed, really angry, and I turn off the light, and I go back to bed, I sleep, and she never turned on the lamp again. And it made me really sad. I yelled, and Millie went away. So that was sad. But also, it was like further proof to me that, it was Millie, or, whoever that ghost was. It wasn't just, weird electrical things, because I yelled at her and the lamp never turned on again.
Did the lamp only turn on when you were like trying to go to bed?
No, that was when the most common time was. But sometimes, especially like there was a period of time where she would do it all the time, and I would often I would be at class and then I'd come back to my room and the lamp would be on. But usually it was in 11 o'clock midnight range.
So this was your first experience with a ghost at Vassar. You said your own house is haunted, but that was your Vassar experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my Vassar experience.
Had you heard about ghosts in Maine before Millie visited you?
Not any details. I knew that Maine was haunted, but I didn't know any specifics.
So you moved into your single, and when did the lamp start turning on?
Probably about halfway through the spring semester.
So it was a while.
Yeah. Maybe that's when she felt comfortable around me. I don't know.
So the lamp started turning on in the middle of spring, which is pretty late for a ghost to appear, but I mean, like you said, maybe she was familiar with you. So would she just turn it on, or did she also turn it off?
She never turned it off. Not an environmentally conscious ghost.
You said that your house was haunted. So
Hmm.
how did having a ghostly presence at Vassar feel to you?
I really liked it. I thought like Millie was like a little friend in my room. Um, and well, the ghost that I have in my house, so there's two. But the one that am around more often, he's kind of annoying. He's like a 17-year-old boy, so he likes to start fights, especially between my brother and I. So he's not a mean ghost, but he's also like not the most friendly ghost. But I don't know. I really Millie was a good presence. I liked annoying apparently because she would turn the lights off when I was trying to sleep. But overall, like a very comforting presence.
Do you think maybe she appeared because you were more stressed, or anything, was anything going on in your life basically?
Well, sophomore year was probably like the time that I was like relatively lonely on campus.
Mm.
And I didn't realize it until you said it, but right around when she started showing up was when I was like, interesting, huh? I hadn't thought about that. Maybe, maybe she was like, oh, you're having relationship troubles. I'm here to help.
I'll turn on the light for you. So did you
I hit a rocky patch with my then girlfriend.
look out for any more ghostly experiences around Maine or around Vassar?
I always like to keep an eye out for ghostly experiences, because I think they're really fun. I'm really interested in them. Um, but I haven't seen any. I've heard stories from other friends about like a ghost in the library. I thought I saw a ghost in the bridge, but it was just a professor working really late. But yeah, that's been my only Vassar ghost experience, unfortunately.
You kind of said you considered her a friend, so did it make your stay at Maine and your single a little bit better?
Yeah, definitely. I very much enjoyed having her around. So it was sad when she left.
Yeah, well, maybe you didn't need her anymore. Maybe she decided that, oh, Grace doesn't need a friend anymore.
Or maybe I scared her away. I don't
Or
know.
that.
But hopefully she's still around and still being a friendly haunting spirit.
When in the year did you tell her to stop turning on the
It
light?
was end of the year. It was like right where when finals was happening. But I was on campus that summer, so I stayed in my room later. So I was in that room for an extensive period of time after I yelled at her. So I was hoping that she would come back after like I was just like sitting in my room packing and watching Avatar. I was like, I don't have to sleep right now. You can come say hi. She didn't come back.
I just want to say that we became close friends that summer, so maybe she made room for me.
That's a lovely thought.
Maybe she's like, oh, I see. This other short little girl's gonna come and help you out. Well, I'm glad because the ghosts at your house you say aren't as nice as Millie. So I'm glad that
Hmm.
you had a more positive ghostly experience.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you feel like you attract ghosts?
I don't know. I wouldn't say I necessarily attract ghosts, but I do look for them. And like my house in Maine, like they're both really old buildings, like 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
So I like being in old spaces. I find old buildings really interesting. So I think it's less that I attract ghosts and more I go where the ghosts are and I look for them.
Lovely. I love it. I love a little ghost hunting friend here. You lived on the fourth floor, right?
Yep.
If you're in the fourth floor of Maine in a single somewhere, look out for a lamp turning on and off. Perhaps. Well, thank you for sharing your story, Grace. It's a lovely story of a nice, helpful ghost, maybe a former Vassar girl still hanging around Maine, finding some new friends to play with.
You're welcome. I have fun telling that story.
Ghosts can change our understanding of places in space. For Grace, her experience had a lonely space become inhabited by a friend. The manipulation of a lamp became a hello from an unknown roommate. The idea of having a previous Vassar student visiting her connected Grace with Maine in a way that was deeper than just living there. The absence of Millie caused a sense of loss because ghosts and hauntings can connect us to the space we occupy in ways that we don't realize until the energy is gone. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good night.